Welcome to another tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to give each player in local multiplayer a set start position instead of them being given a random start position every time the game starts. I'm going to begin by going to the Edit tab. I'm going to click Project Settings and search for Split Screen. And you want to check Use Split Screen. You also want to search for Skip Assigning Gamepad to Player 1. So every time you plug in a controller, it will give it to a new player instead of them all controlling the first player that joins. Next, we're going to click this drop down, open level blueprint, and from the begin play node, we're going to create local player. This will add a new player to the game, and we're going to give it controller ID 1. And for this example, I'm going to use 4 players. So I'm going to add 3 extra ones. And you want to just increase the number by 1 for each player. And compile it. When I click play, I should have 4 players. I want them to all have set spawn locations. So what I'm going to do next is click this drop down. And I'm going to search for player start. I'm going to drag off this into the world. I'm going to create 4 of them in each one of these locations where I want each player to spawn. Make sure that your player start, the capsule, isn't colliding with anything, otherwise it will come up with an error with bad size. So there you go. Now I've got all 4 player starts set up, I'm going to add one more thing to the level blueprint. I'm going to right click and type G key. You can use any keybind you want. I'm going to do from pressed. I'm going to search for open level by object reference. And the object reference is just going to be the blueprint name, so level third person. This will just act as a hotkey which will restart my game so I can quickly test whether the feature actually works or not. Now you see when I click play, and every time I click G, you can see each player is spawning in a random location. We don't want this. Now to fix this, we're going to give each start location a tag. So click on the one you want to edit, go to details, search bar, type tag, and under actor advanced tags, you're going to add an array element. And now for player 1, I'm going to give it the tag 0 because Unreal Engine starts counting from 0 rather than 1. So for number 2, we're going to give it the tag 1. For 3, we're going to give it the tag 2. And for player 4, we're going to give it the tag 3. Once we've got the tags set up, we're now going to go to our game mode blueprint. You can find that in world settings. If you can't find the world settings tab, you can also go to window, world settings, and it'll bring up the tag for you. Now you can find your game mode override and click this button and it will bring you to the blueprint. So double click this blueprint and it will come up with this. You want to open the full blueprint editor. Then you'll see the functions in the left side of the screen. You can click override and you'll see choose player start. This function will hold the logic of which player gets brought to which start position. So there'll be 2 nodes in this blueprint. The choose player start contains the player controller object reference. This is the controller which we are choosing the start position for. The return node is an actor object reference, which is usually the player start objects in the game. We're going to start by unlinking these nodes by holding Alt and clicking on this wire. I'm going to drag off this execute pin and do get all actors of class with tag. And now the actor is going to be player start. So it's going to get every single player start in the game. Now to choose which player start we're going to get, we're going to do this by using get game state. And from here, I'm going to drag off the return value and search for player array. And it should be get player array. This array contains all of the players in the game, including the ones that we added in the level blueprint. So we're going to get the length. So if you just type length, this number will be how many players we have in the game. And because it starts counting from 0, we're going to subtract it by 1. So player 1 will be index 0, player 2 will be index 1, for example. But we're going to convert that to a string, and we're going to convert this string to a name. And now if we plug this into the tag, so this is going to choose the start position for the player based on how many players are in the game at the current time. The reason this works is because this function gets fired every single time a player joins the game. So at the start of the game, there's only one player, so this will be 1. And then in the level blueprint, where we add the player, it will get fired again for each player we add, which will add one number to this length, which will change the start position based on how many players are in the game. The reason we use the player length rather than just getting the controller index, for example, local player ID, this is because this function runs before the player controller has actually been assigned an ID, so it'll just be returned -1. We also can't use the node find player start because using this function also fires this function, creating an infinite loop. Final thing we're going to do is move this return node outwards a bit. From the out actors, we're going to get a copy and plug this into the return value. We're going to get copy 0 because it's just going to get the first copy of the player start with this current tag. So what you don't want to do is create multiple start positions with the same tag. You want to keep each tag assigned to player 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when I click play now, it should work. The first player is player 1, second is player 2, third is player 3, fourth is player 4. When I click G to start the game again, you see every single time they spawn in the right place. Hopefully this worked for you. If you had any problems with the tutorial, just leave a comment and I'll try to help you. Thanks for watching.